Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Icky T, hanging out with you guys on Tuesday Tea Time. Pretty excited. I've got some hilarious, amazing, dynamic, funny human beings with me today. So I'm ready to get a good laugh on and hang out with these guys and just talk about life and ministry, tacos and love and all that good stuff. But before we get there, I do want to let you know that next week we're going to be hanging out with Chad Manalo. Chad Manalo is the tech director for the Saddleback Church. And he has his own studio, so he's a producer. He's running stuff out in Van Nuys. Just another fully artistic cat who's doing some great things. In fact, if you watched a few weeks ago with Jacqueline Jewell, he was the producer. He produced her latest work. So you're going to want to catch up with us next week as we talk about life and art. But this week, my friends, we've got an amazing cast of random human beings who happen to have a lot to say about a lot of things. So without holding back anymore, let's go ahead and get this Tuesday Tea Time started. Right. What is up, fellas? What's going on?
What's up?
Oh, we're on?
You know, I did this huge intro of how funny you guys. Y'all came in like, hello.
Oh,
Come on, guys.
We're here.
All right, all right.
What's happening?
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, I am with some of our coolest young professional ministers here in Southern California Conference. You can say what's up to them. I am honored to call them a friend and a peer here in the work. To my left, the immediate person to me is Brian Campos. What's up, B?
What's up, Icky?
What's up,
everybody?
Coming in at 120 pounds. I got you, Brian.
No. Don't lie.
Higher, bro.
Hey, listen, your wife takes care of my son, man. I gotta.
Way higher.
B, what assignment are you at right now, my bro?
I'm at Central Spanish Church. It's I always tell people it's a church by Staples Center.
The awesome
home of the LA Lakers.
Yes, hey, that's a good word there, my bro. That's a good word. And what are you drinking today, B?
Oh, I'm drinking coffee.
All right.
Decaf coffee for all those people out there.
Right.
Yeah, they don't make no difference. Sinner.
That's good.
Decaf.
Yeah.
I can't
The
have
rest of us
real
are drinking
drinks
Roma,
on
bro.
that night.
Yo, that's a lie. I've been to Brian's house. He does not have no decaf coffee in his house. That's a lie.
Speaking up to
man.
his left is Danny. Danny, my man, what's going on?
Going on, Icky? How you doing?
Good. Now, Danny, you're a little bit different from these fellas. You're what they call a senior pastor.
Oh.
That's what they say.
Man.
I'm not. I haven't gotten that memo yet, but yeah.
You don't have an associate though, so I mean, is he a senior? I don't know.
Whoa!
We're hiring, bro. You interested?
The gloves have come off early, my friends. I'm glad you joined us. Danny, tell us, what assignment are you at right now, my man?
I am at Norwalk, California. So it's Aldonai Church. It's like the furthest in our geographical region of our conference. So.
You guys are at the border, right?
Yeah, at the border.
Nice.
of LA County.
LA County, yeah. Next to Mordor. Got you.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, just to let you know, Brian, you are not the closest. Matthew Reyes wanted to put that out, so you are not the closest to the Staples Center.
Get it right.
Oh, man, are they like down the? Are they on the same block? Because man,
because any closer, you'd be in their parking lot, huh?
Exactly.
Danny, what are you drinking, my bro?
Bro, I want to give a little shout out to Costco.
Costco.
I am drinking Keurig cups from Costco, and if you've been to Costco,
yo, are you getting paid for this?
Check this out. Yes,
he's
yes,
got a sponsor, man.
I'm getting paid.
This man's getting paid.
Yo,
It's like
if
an
you
ad.
get to Costco, you realize that they already have the holiday blend out. It's
Oh,
August.
my-
Yo,
Wow.
it's August when I bought it, and they were like, dude, 2020's been rough. We got to start the holiday season early. Starbucks holiday blend. Oh my goodness, it's my favorite. I stocked up. Me and my wife love it.
Because who knows? By December, aliens have taken this over. Who knows? 2020's been crazy,
Oh,
yo.
We might not make it. You know, we might not make it
to 2020. Jesus might come in November during Thanksgiving, man.
We have to sneak in the coffee before Jesus comes.
Right.
Brian's doing right now. That's what Brian's doing.
Matthew called it out.
Whoa,
Brian said
yeah.
Matthew said Hollywood Spanish is 2 blocks away, man. Giving it up
Oh,
to
man.
hey, love to Hollywood Spanish. Welcome on, you guys. Thanks for showing up. Brian's a silent hater. Don't worry about him. He thinks he's the closer.
Brian is being exposed.
Yeah, he's being exposed. He's being called out.
Whoa.
He's still going to be saying it's the LA church.
And Rogelio
Oh,
points
man.
out, actually, Ro, thanks for pointing this out, that Labor Day weekend is a holiday. So, the holiday blend comes out. It makes
It was
sense.
August.
Yo,
Kind of.
hey,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh, is this Correct Us Day? What is this?
Welcome to Correct Us Day.
Yo, I need to pull
You're a
something
pastor.
up
You
for
should be used to it.
Rogelio. I'm going to pull something up for Rogelio. I'm a quick timeout.
Yeah. Pull that up. While Danny is stepping out, we're going to go just below me is Pastor Emmanuel. What's up, E-Man?
What's up, Icky?
Tell me the good word, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Um,
What assignment are you at, my man?
I am at Kaleo. I'm the associate pastor at Kaleo. Get to work closely with Pastor Manny Arteaga. It's been good, man.
Why are you dropping names,
being
bro?
there.
Why are you dropping names?
I know, bro. All you gotta say is,
Yo, we're not impressed by a name like Manny Arteaga, man. I didn't come on here and say like I knew The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you guys doing this, bro? Oh.
All you have to say was, I work with the senior pastor.
Yeah. What? That's messed up, man. Manny, if you're watching, we love you, man. We love you. But even he's a little bit, I don't know. No, that's all good, bro. There it is.
Does this look like Labor Day coffee? Does it look like a Labor Day coffee? This is holiday blend.
And that little lady on there looks like she's been doing labor, though. So, you know. Oh, man.
Or mermaid.
Okay, E-Man. So you are at Kaleo. Tell us one interesting thing about your assignment, bro. What's one thing that you love about what you do?
Something interesting about Manny.
You gotta bring his name up 3 or 4 more times. Man. That's cool. Whatever.
No, something interesting that I got to do is I got to work with all this digital media stuff even way before COVID happened. I was blessed. Sometimes, people make fun of me, oh, you're just a tech guy and stuff like that. But I had the privilege of being able to do ministry through, digital means for a while now. That's amazing. That's something that I found really cool that I got to do there at Kaleo.
Hey, man, these guys are trying to pick on you, but the first shall be last, bro. Look at what the Lord did. He turned it around, and now you're the all-star in the team, bro.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
he is. Hey, he really is. He really is the all-star.
Isaac didn't know how to turn his phone on, bro. And what are you drinking, E-Man?
I'm drinking some coffee, and this is a little plug for one of the members at our church. They have they're 3rd generation coffee producers from El Salvador, and they have their own coffee farm over there, and they sell good coffee. It's really good, man.
And what spot is this?
It's called Café. I can't even pronounce the name. Huyua, I think. It's
Is that a Spanish name? Is that what?
How they pronounce it? But yeah, it's coffee. We've had this for a couple generations. It's good coffee, and I can drop Instagram links or whatever later on.
Yeah, drop some links.
Yeah, man.
Drop some links.
Yeah, man.
Where's their physical location at? Is it what city? What town are we looking at?
I don't think they have a coffee shop. You just they sell to certain coffee shops.
Got it.
Certain coffee shops, and you can buy the actual beans online, and that's how I got them. That's how I have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, drop some links, man. There are people watching on here that's gonna want some of that, and there are others who are cursing you for it. Whatever. Moving on. Next to you is my guy Will. Will, what is up, bro?
What's up, man? What is up, man? How you doing?
Good. What's your assignment, my bro?
I'm an associate pastor in San Fernando, Spanish.
San
here in the valley.
Fernando knows
Yes,
how to
man.
worship. All right. How have you been liking your time there? You just started there, right? How long
man,
ago?
I just started. I came in December, so I really had like 2 months with the people, and then everything's been online. So it's been an interesting experience coming in, starting, I guess, the pastoral journey.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So tell me one interesting thing that you have experienced since your start time, because the majority of your time there now has been online, right? Digital?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, for most of it. I think one of the most interesting things is the fact, like, when a church is, like, I guess, hungry to, like, worship or hungry to, like, congregate, the ability to adapt, And so, like, we've been able to adapt, through the months as we've been trying to, like, the hurdles that come with COVID and stuff like that. Just being able to adapt, to do worship and to come together in some kind of way. That's been the most interesting thing.
Yeah, I bet everyone's been kind of experiencing that on one level or another, because it's really been a big transition for all of us, especially because church really is meant to be a person-to-person kind of communal experience where you're in each other's, like, face-to-face time, and having to be digital has been something else, huh? Will, what are you drinking, my bro? What's your drink?
Listen, man, I don't know how to pronounce this thing. It's echinacea. I don't know. It's tea. I ain't grew up drinking tea, so it's healthy.
Oh, all right, that's good.
Yo,
That's
you
good.
got the tag under the cup.
Bro, that's cool. It's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, under the cup. I saw the price of the mug, bro.
You didn't see the price, bro. You didn't see the price. That's how you know it's authentic, bro.
Isaac, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Next
What's
to
up,
you is
Big A? How you doing?
Isaac. Isaac, tell me, man, what's your assignment? Where are you at?
Oh, I'm at Palmdale,
Palmdale.
Seventh-day Adventist Church. And,
Bro, is Palmdale in Southern California? Where's that at?
Dude, Palmdale's in Southern California. It's not even the furthest church, believe it or not. I'm fortunate to even be that far, man.
Man. And you are, what do you do there?
I am the senior pastor of the church. Just got there during actually just got hired there, as a matter of fact. During the COVID pandemic, and I found it a big blessing for me to actually be able to say that, to just be a senior pastor during this COVID. Although it's been a bit challenging, but nonetheless, God is in control, and just keeping on.
That's good. Have you actually preached there? I mean, have you preached there physically?
There every Saturday, bro. I preach there every Saturday. Why you hating, man? Why you hating? I'm dying you out right now. Keep going.
Yeah, he started throwing shade, and he was like, "So Isaac, what do you do there?"
Right. I can't cut that.
I just want to check. I didn't even know he worked in our conference, everybody.
He's a crafty.
I preach on a weekly basis. There's two other pastors out here that don't preach on a weekly basis and shouldn't be laughing. But it's all right. It's all right. Next time, bro.
This is going to be the best hour of my life, guys. I feel like. Isaac, what are you drinking? What are you drinking?
I had to go change my mug because the mug I had was given to me by one of my youth, and it was kind of inappropriate, but it was hilarious. So I had to go change it.
Come on, man.
But I'm drinking. It's called Ketepa tea from Kenya.
Oh,
So it's tea straight up from Kenya. I went and we bought boxes of it when I went there last year, and I'm still trying to finish it off.
Wow. Hey, man, that's awesome, bro. You win for most exotic right next to Will, who's drinking a tea that he doesn't even know the name of.
No, but here's a real question. Isaac, when you came back, did you declare that? Did you let him know?
Absolutely not.
Did you?
What's going on here?
Yeah. Do you have anything to declare? No, sir.
Come
Nothing.
on, man.
Put that in the bottom of my suitcase. No one questioned me, bro. I just kept going.
I don't have anything to declare. Is that an elephant? No, that's not an elephant. Don't worry about it.
I said, nah, man. Just myself and clothes, man.
Let's get into some questions. Yo, Manny, what's up, man? Just saw Manny pop on here. Manny said y'all called. Manny, listen, man. You can't let E-Man come on the shows and drop names like that, man. You can't just let him. You know us too, bro. We get to say you're our friend too. Let's start off with some easy stuff, my guys. Let's start off some easy stuff. So we're gonna do a raisings of hands. All right, that'll be the best way. And the best way to do is raise your hand kind of in front of you, so everybody can see whether you answer or not. Okay, here we go. How many of you are married? By show of hands, married people. Oh yes, very good. How many of you have a child or kids? Anybody? Kids. Oh, the two guys at the top. Okay. How many of you have more than one child? More than one child? Oh, how many of you have two kids or more? More than two kids. Oh, snap. How many of you have more than three kids? So you guys have three kids. Wow, fantastic. Okay, quick questions for you guys. Do you one girl or one boy? Brian.
I have one girl, two boys.
One girl, two boys. Danny.
Two girls, one boy.
Oh,
boy's the last one.
Love and marriage. I see what you're doing.
No,
there.
No, thank
Go
you.
for the even four.
Call me matchmaker.
Benjamin's on. Somebody already claimed him.
So he's already claimed. Huh? He's already claimed. Hey, E-Man, Manny says you got a bonus coming up, bro. Yes. But what he didn't say is it's extra work hours.
You're gonna give him a gift card.
Okay. How many of you are millennials? Millennials, if you're a millennial, raise your hand. Millennial. Okay. Oh, so everyone's a millennial. Okay. I want to know who's the youngest millennial here. Do you know between all of you who the youngest millennial is here?
I think
Like the
Donnie.
Brady,
Might be
the
me.
Brady Bunch box. This guy.
Donnie.
Yeah, I think it's
Danny?
me.
Danny, are you the youngest?
Yeah.
Danny,
Yeah.
you're
You
the-
can
Danny, how old are
can
you,
tell by
bro?
his hair.
Just turned 30 this year.
Oh, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no wonder your hair's so thick and nice. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
So
Brian, take off your
jealous.
cap, bro. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like when I get there.
Oh,
Yo,
that's
you too,
awesome.
bro.
Oh,
Go check it out.
Mercy.
Hey, bro. How
I wanna
about
see
you?
what-
No, bro. It's gone, bro. It's gone. I shave it off.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Danny, cut some off, bro, and give us some, man.
Yeah, bro. Come on, I need some. man.
Donate, bro. Donate.
My forehead
Lock-
starts
donate.
behind my ears, man. Yeah, we need some of that hair, Danny. Okay, so you guys are all millennials. Phenomenal. Well, look, our church is the better off because of our millennials. So thank you so much, guys, for committing your life to ministry, to the church, to loving people. We know that's not necessarily easy work. But you guys have decided to do it, and you represent a group of human beings in this world, in our millennial class, that are doing that. I get a little bit tired, overwhelmed about hearing from other people like, man, our young people are millennials. They're just not putting in the time. And you guys, especially right now, are doing some sick work, man. So thank you so much for putting that in. Okay, how many of you come from Central America? Your family comes Central America. All right. How many of you are South American? South American? All right. How many of you are from No America? No America at all? Okay. So I want to know. Let me hear about your lineages. We'll start with Isaac. Isaac, where's your fam bam from?
My mom is born and raised in right here in Los Angeles in Dogtown Projects, and her father is a Native American Indian, and my grandma is Mexican. And my dad is born and raised in Durango, Mexico.
Durango. Very good.
And that's my lineage. That's as far as I know. The rest have been in Mexico, and they were there for as long as my parents could remember.
Phenomenal. Where were you born?
Born and raised in White Memorial Hospital.
You're raised there too?
Very good.
Just born there, raised in Los Angeles.
Raised in the White Memorial Hospital. How did that work, bro?
Hey, it's a hospital, man.
Hey, man. It's Correctus
I had a lot
Day.
of-
Correctum Day is what it
bro.
is. Rogelio just put out Mexico is North America, bro. So get the game right.
bro.
All
I
right.
never called that North America.
Oh, man. You didn't.
Huh?
Never called.
No, I didn't. And that's why Ro called it out. Yeah. So sorry. Let me come.
Checking you, bro. You better check yourself,
I know. Forgive me, brothers. Forgive me.
He's like, anything
Oh.
south of the border is just down there.
You guys are all just, I'm a different kind of immigrant, man. We had to swim a long way to get here, bro. Let me tell you. Will, where's your clan from?
Yeah, so correction, we are from, I guess, America, from Puerto Rico. My family's from Puerto Rico. It's so America owns it, even though most Americans don't even know Puerto Ricans are citizens.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Puerto Rico, bro. Both are from Puerto Rico. So, but I was born here in Florida.
Florida, nice. Florida is kind of like the California of the East Coast, yeah.
No, it's wannabe. It's a wannabe.
Yeah, no,
Whoa.
There's
It's a
similarities.
wannabe.
I would compare
Yeah.
California if like Florida and New York had a baby. It's California.
Yeah,
That's-
you're
that's
right.
my-
That's right.
That's my observation from
Yeah, that's
traveling to all these places.
That's true. That's
Um,
true. That's true. Brian's very upset at Florida right now. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, man.
Ryan, have you been to Florida?
Yeah.
No, man. I don't want to go with them gators. You got alligators coming out of the lakes, man. I'm good.
Okay.
The thing is, man, to live in Florida, you got to be kind of tough, bro, because like all kinds of stuff's trying to kill you in Florida, man. All kinds of stuff. The sun, the ocean, the sharks, everything, man.
Hurricanes.
Everglades, everything's trying to kill you, man.
Hurricanes. I prefer hurricanes over earthquakes right now.
True. E-Man,
Oh,
tell
he
us
has a
about your
story
fam,
about
bro.
earthquake, by the way.
He does. Will has a story about his first earthquake. So.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
It was
Not to mention,
2.1.
Liliana puts out that Florida has terrible Mexican food. That's what she said. She put that out there.
I like
for
that.
her.
No, that's very true.
Mercy. Well,
Okay,
Puerto Rican, so he don't
E-Man,
care.
tell us about your clan, man. What your lineage?
yeah,
your
right.
fam.
Okay. I got amazing Puerto Rican food.
I bet, bro. I bet. So both of my parents are from Mexico. My mom's from Jalisco.
Jalisco.
My dad is from Hidalgo, and his side of the family are actually indigenous. My dad and my uncle, in order to communicate with my grandparents and their siblings, they would actually speak a dialect. They wouldn't even speak Spanish. So that's how close I am to that side of the family. And so it hadn't dawned on me until a couple of years ago, where I was like, actually, I remember as a little kid, they were talking in a dialect. They weren't speaking Spanish. So, yeah, that's where my lineage comes from. But I was born here in
Full-on
Pomona,
roots, man.
actually.
Pomona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Pomona.
In the IE.
In the IE.
Grew up in the IE.
Hey,
yeah.
man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man.
God bless you, man. God bless the IE. They need a lot of prayer over there. Danny, bro, tell us about your fam, man. Where are you from? What's your lineage?
So my family, both of my parents are in Guatemala. So
Right.
born in Guatemala, and both of them immigrated here. I was born actually in Bellflower, which is where I live currently. So kind of did a full circle. I went everywhere, like Northern California. I lived there with PUC, then Andrews, and I ended up living in Bellflower where I was born. So this is me. And so Guatemala is my place.
Nice.
Hey,
Everybody thinks
Danny,
it's a part of Mexico. It's not a part of Mexico. Just kind of want to put that out there.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than El Salvador. Just want to put that out there also. And we do have
Throwing
good food.
shots over here, huh?
Yeah. I just gotta let people know.
Gotta let them know, man. Yeah.
And I don't appreciate being called a watermelon. That's another thing. It's not even funny.
Is that don't say that? Don't do that.
Oh yeah, that's no.
Nah.
I've never heard that before.
What about you, B?
So my mom's from Honduras.
Honduras.
Honduras, and my dad, biological father, he's from El Salvador.
All right.
And I was born here in LA, raised by MacArthur Park.
Nice.
Born in the
Yeah.
Staples Center.
Yes.
Born in the Staples Center. And then yeah, been in LA my whole life, practically, except when I went to PUC and when I was at when I was in Andrews.
All right, man. Well, guys, it's fantastic. Thank you for being on. If you are catching up with us here at Tuesday Tea Time, I want to welcome you on. I've got some really bright gentlemen here who are doing phenomenal work in ministry all over Southern California. As you've heard, they're all located in different places, all the way up from San Fernando down to Norwalk. Palmdale is in the house. We're just all over the place. Staples Center. And so widespread, covering all of SoCal. And we're just going to talk about life, ministry, and a bunch of other stuff. So let's get to it, guys. We're going to get started. I want to ask you a little bit about, are there things that you've noticed, challenges or perks that are more uniquely Hispanic as opposed to maybe mainstream, conventional and Anglo church, right? What about it? What about working in a Hispanic church have you noticed are maybe something more unique to an immigrant population? It could be a challenge, or it could be like, man, this is really awesome. This is a perk of ours. Yeah. Let's start with Will. Will, why don't you speak to that, and then we'll kind of go around.
Man. So obviously, like, my experience has been limited because of the distance. So I'm still getting to know the church. But I think one of the things that I and not just particularly with this church per se, but with more churches, even where I grew up at, I think the challenge is for me, it's kind of like almost the disconnect between generations, and trying to be the bridge, and trying to like almost reconnect, between the older generation, which sees that ministry needs to be done this way because this is how it was done back at home, and then this culture where their kids are being raised, which is a whole different culture, and trying to like bridge the gap. It's the challenge, but it's also like exciting in the same time, because it's almost like once you feel like the Lord is leading you to that point where it does come together, like, it's a beautiful.
This is like a 5-hour conversation right here. I think that's a really good point you brought up. Just a question for everybody else: do you also feel that same kind of challenge where you're working at?
Yes, sir.
And this is not unique to the Hispanic immigrant churches. Just putting it out there. This is unique for all migrant churches, people that move from a different place, because the parents are usually they're culturally where they're from, living in a foreign land, whereas the kids are culturally from that place with a lineage that's foreign to them. So making worship kind of fit for all of them, I know it's a real thing, right? I know sometimes we look at ministry as if it's monolithic, like, this is Hispanic ministry, and then this is ministry towards Asian people, and this is ministry towards white people, but nothing is monolithic. And in migrant groups, different generations experience church culturally very different from each other. Danny, speak to that.
If I can add just a little bit to that, I think it's even more nuanced when it comes to the Hispanic population, because we're saying Hispanic, and we're already lumping in what you have here represented. Yeah, Guatemalans, Mexicans, Salvadorans, anyone from South America, Argentina. Like, we are, even if you just had all Hispanics in one group, we're multicultural. Like, every country is its own thing. Like, if you were to say Canada, the United States, like, we're just as different, if not more, right? We all speak the same language, but we're very different. Like, let's say, you meet Argentinian people, you meet Brazilians. It's not just like we're both together even more because it's just a language thing. But in our Hispanic churches here in our area, I mean, we have churches that are predominantly Mexican, other churches that are predominantly Central American, and it kind of, you have to be aware of what where you're at in order to kind of like minister more effectively, I guess,
Yeah.
And it presents different challenges also within each churches that have, a variety of different cultures and ethnic groups.
So it may not even be fair to generalize a unique thing for Hispanic ministry in general, because it may be very localized, right? E-Man, can you think of an example of something that we're speaking of right now? Can you think of an example or illustration of that?
Our church is kind of unique. We are we have our services in English as opposed to most of the other guys here on the stream. Their services are in Spanish, are also in English, and we have, even though that's the case, we still have some of those ideas of being married to the way we do things, right? Being married to the way we structure our program, even though the way our liturgy is, right, isn't as traditional as the liturgy of other churches. Even making those small changes within that liturgy as a more contemporary service, as an English service. Most of the church is Latino, so that means that we carry those ideas from being married to the way we do things from our growing up, our upbringing in those churches and those services. So sometimes we want to change things, and it's not that it's hard, but we still encounter those challenges of doing things just because that's how we used to do them. And I think that's something that we see even in our context, and I'm sure the other guys can speak to how challenging it is to make changes in their context.
Brian, is there something that is in the traditional Hispanic worship liturgy that you have always wondered, interesting, I wonder why that? Or is there something that is uniquely different that you have thought of?
Man, I think there's a couple of things, but something very, very simple. And I don't know if this is just for Hispanics per se, the Hispanic church, but when we have communion, they always cover the bread and the wine, and it's a must. It has to be done. And I've never understood the reasons why. Whereas younger generations they don't practice that anymore. But it's something that's very set in the mindset of the church members that they have to do. Bring this kind of like holy atmosphere, I guess. When it comes to that worship.
Interesting how our traditions have become sacred things, huh? Where we've, it's caused us to question, like, why are these things like that? Isaac,
and it brings,
go ahead, B. Sorry.
No, and I was saying, and it brings attention, I feel, with the younger generation because they don't see a purpose to things. Sometimes they don't see the reason why. There's always this tension, and it's always like an ongoing battle. And as a pastor, we're always trying to have a middle ground.
Yeah, true.
I think to add to that, Brian, it seems like the younger generation want to do things that are meaningful, right?
Yes.
However they do it, they want to make sure there's some meaning to it. And doing just things because we used to do it before, unless you explain that meaning, it won't be meaningful to them.
Yeah,
and that's true because
and that's not to say that what we're doing is not meaningful.
Yeah,
it's a matter of explaining the reason why we do what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept because I would say we do have to be careful because what we're then suggesting is what's being done is not meaningful, when in actuality for that generation it was meaningful, right? And maybe what we're saying is learning how to transition from one meaningful space to the next meaningful space and not being hung up on that.
Yes.
Instead of leaving it arbitrary.
Yeah. I'm getting to that age because like I'm just I'm a millennial too. But
you just made the cut, huh?
I'm getting to that age where hey, don't hate Danny, man. You're on my show, bro. Don't hate.
My bad. Sorry.
If we lose your feed, you know why, bro. No,
I'm gonna cut out.
You're cut out. No, where things to me that are still like there's a song that I love. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Right, to me, that I love that song, man. It's like doosh. But like nobody knows that song today. Like everyone was like, what is that whack? Why are you singing that from like the 90s or from the 2000s, right? And so meaning is prescribed by the group, by the culture. And that's why meaning is always being transferred. But what happens is sometimes we we hijack it, man. We're like, no, this is what's going to be meaningful. And what you do is not meaningful, right?
Yeah. And I think that also applies, real quick, I think that also applies in how we even do our worship settings or how we choose worship. Like it's the group that is what decides this is what's, sacred. And this is what isn't, so it has a lot to do with the people and the meaning that we put as opposed to just like letting things just ride on.
Yeah.
But I think it's important also to have our young people understand why certain things are meaningful to the older generation.
Absolutely.
Like we have to understand, right, their feelings, their perspective of things, so we can get a better perspective ourselves and not be so quick to shut things down.
Ooh, absolutely right, Brian. But you know what? We have done a horrible job at articulating that, and that's why young people don't get why we need to keep certain things around, right? And so sometimes for young people, it's all or nothing. Well, forget it. I don't want any of it. And maybe part of that is we haven't done such a great job at articulating. Another part is the older generation hasn't done a good job at articulating it. They're just like, look, do it. Or you're dead. And so
you pass on tradition as opposed to passing the richness of something. Right? Like there was a point in time where they learned why it mattered. There was a point in time where they understood that it was rich and it was beautiful. And then time happens and they just start doing. And by the time the next generation comes over, it's like, hey, this is what we do, as opposed to taking them back to the books and saying this is what it is. This is why we do it. And people, the things that, it's not to say that they have like an inherent value, or maybe they do, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of richness and beauty in the tradition that the last generation, takes part in. And I think that as like, part of this next generation, we've thrown it out. Like you said, we've just cast it out like all or nothing. Like we'd rather just start anew. And we're missing out a lot of depth and richness to our religion and tradition.
Take notes, guys. That's why he's a senior pastor.
No, and you know what? To think of something that he's talking about, I feel that when you ask, like when I've asked youth to program something at church, to make a Vespers or to make an AY program, they always have the exact same template. It's the template that has been trickled down through the years, and you can encourage them, think outside the box. They can't. It's very hard for them to, well, this is, anything else won't be accepted. This is the only format that is accepted, so I'm going to continue to stick to this format because it's what won't get people talking bad about us, and it's what will get us accepted into the church.
And I think almost to break out of the mold of that tradition is almost viewed as a sin.
Yes. Yeah. Right. It's very right. We've deemed it sinful or unsacred to change it just because it's something we've always. And you know why? Because we've prescribed so much meaning to that thing, that to remove that thing means for people who find that profoundly deep, as to them that symbolizes removing that meaningfulness out of their worship service. And we don't think about it, so we don't but when we explain and articulate it well, man, like things become more deeply meaningful. I remember sitting in a church, and I was listening to them do praise and music, and it was good, and they got to the praise part, and they were going to sing the song da 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 da. I don't remember the name of that song. Come Thou Fount. And the lady, before she sings it, tells the story of why the writer used the word Ebenezer. And what Ebenezer meant. I was still a young guy at the time, but when she was saying an Ebenezer is like an altar that somebody erects, something that they put up, so every time they see that thing, they can praise God, right? Bro, let me tell you guys, that song took full-on meaning at that point, and I from that moment on, I adopted that song as one of my favorites, because I finally understood. Before that point, I thought it was like the old Scrooge guy from, I had no idea what that. Why do we keep singing about Ebenezer Scrooge, right? But once explained and articulated, man, the love and the appreciation for that really changed, and so we could all do a better job. At that kind of stuff. Okay, hey fellas, let's keep cruising. Before we get too far along, I do want to put something up here. I hear you guys love tacos.
Is this true?
Is this truth? Okay, cool.
Yeah, true.
All right, cool. So what I did,
I'm learning to love him.
Will's got to work on it. He's Puerto Rican. Forgive him. So what I did is, today, I went around and I spent some time looking for tacos of different kind, because I hear you guys are taco connoisseurs, right? I hear you have deep love for it. If you're watching along, I am with the young Hispanic pastors of SCC. I want you to join in this game. So what I did is I went and collected tacos from different places, because I thought if you knew tacos, you should know which taco comes from where. You can play along. There are 6 tacos on the plate. If you're looking at them, I want you to be able to call out which taco is from where. The 6 places are Del Taco, Taco Bell, King Taco, Jack in the Box, Tursa's, and there is a local spot here called Azteca Tacos. All right. So I'm gonna pull it up just a little bit so you can see. Look at this. Look at this.
Isaac.
All right.
Yo, I'm severely
you better know which
disappointed
one
in that
that's
choice list, bro.
This is the best I could do in the middle of the day, Danny. You know the best ones open up later on.
I
Man.
don't know.
We didn't have time.
You said we like tacos. I didn't know you went to Taco Bell.
Bro,
That's an
no, listen. The reason why I went there is because a real good taco connoisseur can tell the difference between the fast food and the ones that are mama papa stores. And I know you guys have been to Tursa's. I know you've been to King Taco, and I think some of you have been to Azteca Tacos. That's that little stand right here. Like they don't even have, it's real because they don't even have seating inside. You just go up to a window, like it's like a back alley spot. You order it, and homegirl just gives it to you. She speaks in Spanish the whole time, whether you understand her or not. You just give her the money that you think is the right money. She gives you change and take your one thing, and it's in a little plastic bag. It's not even like, like it has no name on it.
Bro.
It's a clear plastic bag. Yeah. So I got these tacos. So you should be able to call out which one is fast food and which one is the real deal. All right. Now I'm gonna leave this on the screen for a little bit to give you time to marinate. You guys can work together. There's 6 different places. You see that?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're different tacos from different places. I'm going to pull it up a little bit so you can see it. You see that first one? I'm pretty sure you can tell which one is from Taco Bell.
Are we going to see it on our screen?
No,
an expert,
you have to
man.
look on Facebook. You have to look on the Facebook Live, all right? So I'm going to leave that up here while we talk a little bit. Then we'll come back to that. Number 1 is on this side. That's number 1 to number 6. You guys are welcome to play along and try to figure out which taco is from where. All right.
I think number 5.
Number 5 is from where?
Number 5 is Jack in the Box.
No, number 5 is Jack. For
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
so then really you're not taco
Definitely.
connoisseurs, you're Jack in the Box connoisseurs is what I'm seeing here.
Oh, man. Jack in the Box.
That's Jack in the Box. Oh, okay. Not bad.
Can you hold it closer to the?
That's
the
in my
camera?
budget, bro. That's in my budget.
Hey, King Taco's next to the Jack in the Box. I think it looks like
King,
Taco.
you're saying this is King Taco? This one?
No, number 4. Number 4.
Number 4 is King Taco. Okay, you're wrong. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys feel that out. I'm gonna ask another question, and we'll come back to this. We'll come back. Number 3 is Taco Bell. Somebody put up there. No, number 3 is not
number
Taco
1 is
Bell.
Taco Bell.
Number 1 is Taco Bell.
Number one is Taco.
Bell.
Ding 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 ding.
Number 1 is Taco Bell.
Yes, you are right. You're right. Number 1 is Taco Bell.
Is number 2 King Taco?
Number
No, never
number
mind.
2. Are you sure?
Never mind.
Is that final
Never
answer?
mind, never mind. I think
You
Number
can
That
do
is
it.
man, man.
Come
I
on.
think. Could you remove the Taco Bell ones? I could
Okay,
get a
we're
better
gonna.
picture.
All right, that's a good idea. So we're gonna remove Taco Bell. Number 1 Taco Bell is gone.
And the Jack one too. You got to remove that one too.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're
'cause
sure
I gotta
that's
see
Taco
the
Bell?
5.
You're sure that's Jack?
I gotta see the.
Are
the
you sure that's
tacos,
Jack?
You know.
Number
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good job. Number 1 and number 5 gone. You guys are getting down to the real deals here now, guys. You're getting to the real deals here.
Right.
All right. So what we have left
Taco
is we have
Bell.
Azteca tacos, we have Terza's taco, we have Del Taco. I can't believe Del Taco's still in there. And then we have King Taco. All right. LOL. B is so unsure.
Dude,
Brian,
right.
you're being very unsure, bro. You're
Hey,
being very unsure.
King Taco, I can't see the number, but Del Taco is that with the flour tortilla.
Which one
Yeah.
is it?
Can you zoom in?
Yeah.
Del Taco.
Del Taco
Number
is
3.
I think number 3. Yeah.
number 3 is Del
Yeah.
Taco. Number 3.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
let's see. It's number 3 Del Taco. Yeah, you're right. Matthew says that the big tortilla is Del Taco, so you are all correct. That's right. Del Taco is now
Okay.
leaving the stadium, the bubble.
Isaac,
Can
which
you-
one's Terza's?
I need you.
We're
I need
Steve's,
Isaac, which
man.
one's Terza's?
We're just Steve's, man.
You guys can't tell?
All right, these are so. This is a good job, guys. You are down now to like the 3 tacos that come from better taco places. All right, so it's number 2, number 4, number 6. We've got Azteca tacos, we've got Terza's, and then we've got King Taco. Let's ask another question, and we'll come back to that. Hold on to that. We'll come back to it. All right. Here's another question. So what do you think our young Hispanic constituents need more of ever today than any time in history? What do you think, fellas? Let me see. Let me start with Isaac. Isaac, give me some word on this, bro.
What I honestly think that youth need at this point in time is relationship and support. Those 2 things go hand in hand because we want our churches to feel like our kids' churches, our
Right.
young people's churches. And right now, many of the churches that young people go to is still their parents' church. You know, I was
Right.
born and raised in this church. It's not really my church.
Right.
I go there because my parents, whether it be they force me or I go there because of my friends, it's not really my church. It's my parents' church. So in order for us to make it their church, it's a matter of supporting them, nudging them in the right direction. And even though they do it completely different than what we expect them to do it, it's still going to be right because they're doing it with the love and the desire to actually do it. So, I mean, if we encourage them and we support them in those decisions and those endeavors, I think that'll be a big step in the right direction. I recently was told that, well, even I think most of us can actually experience this too. Is like when the young people plan activities, most of the adults don't show up. But when the adults make activities, they kind of expect the young people to be there. And if they're not, well, the young people don't come to this. They don't participate in this. And I think that's a big issue because they're told that into their faces. A lot of people, a lot of members will tell that to the young people and say, "Hey, why don't you come?" You know, it's like, well, wait a minute. And we don't, because we're very respectful. Some probably do, but we won't say. What we want to say is, why don't you come and support me when I do programs, when I have activities at my church? Why don't you come and see what I'm doing instead of me wanting to go see what you're doing? Because you're not leaving church.
Yeah.
I may leave church. I'm going to go to college and I might find someone else, and I'm not going to want to come back to this church. But if you want me to come back, why would I? Give me something to come back to, at least.
That's good. I was talking, I had a couple of young graduates who just graduated from academy a couple weeks ago. And one of the girls said something so profoundly beautiful. I've repeated it a few times now, but I'm going to keep saying it. She said, you know, so often we hear from adults that you're the church for tomorrow. And she says, but if you don't give us the church today, who guarantees we'll be here tomorrow? Right? So if you're waiting for tomorrow may not come for us if you don't give us the chance to be the church today. And that's so, man, that just struck such a nerve in me. Brian, do you think that there is a quiet shifting underneath our church with our young people that are adults and that the rest of us aren't seeing? You know, like we're thinking everything's okay and they're just going to come along, but there's stuff that they're dealing with that we're not up to par on?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that we're very disconnected from the younger generations. I don't think our church has done a good job to demonstrate love and concern for them. And, you know, I personally think that one of the things that we need today, that our young people need, is mentors. People that believe in them, people that are going to uplift them, people that are going to show sympathy. They're just going to, you know, be there in the storms. You know, personally, I'm here today because I had that. Somebody took the time. I'm gonna give a shout out to Dean Granados.
All right.
PDC. You know, he mentored me. He took the time to care for me, to believe in me when nobody else would. He saw something in me that I didn't see. People closest to me never told me about, but he did. And I think that's what young people need. You know, they need mentors. They need somebody that's going to build a solid relationship with them.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, so I think that's what's needed.
Man, they need to be able to see. They need to be able to see past that moment, huh? And young people. I know when I first saw you, Brian, as a young person, I thought he's never going to make it. And so I'm glad you. I'm glad you had a mentor who got you there. E-Man.
Can I just add to that?
Yes, please.
I think to your question, you said, you know, what do young people need? And I think, you know, we all need something. But at this point, I think if we rephrase the question, it'd be a little bit better, because our young people have everything they need. You know, they have relationships. Yep. They have, you know, causes that they fight for. It's just, it's no longer part of church. So it's not that they need anything or they're not even getting a spiritual fulfillment of some sort. It's just not happening at church. So our churches need something. And I think one of the things I wanted to share is a fear that I have. And this is maybe just because I'm like pessimistic. I tend to think that things are negative more. I feel like that gap that we've been waiting for and talking about, you know, the youth are tomorrow, or even people that say they're today, like that's a lie, and it's reflected in the numbers of the church. I think we've missed a serious gap that I don't know, a lot of our churches, I don't know if they'll be able to recover from. I really do think that, like, percentage wise, we have like double the percentage of people over 50 in a lot of our churches, and then like the county does, right? So our churches, I feel like, have missed that gap. And on top of missing the gap that was like maybe coming up in the 90s or 2000s, I feel like this next generation moved too fast. And we always think it's just one generation, but this generation, I feel like they're not just a generation away. I feel like they're 3 generations away. Like they moved at light speed. You know, if you think about it as simply as, like, this phone is an old phone of mine. It's a 6S. From the 6S to the new phone that's coming out this year. Even the first iPhone that came out was early 2000s, something like that.
2007.
2007.
Think about the way that we've progressed so fast. I feel like we first missed the gap, right? Like we weren't paying attention to the youth, and then that generation just moved too quickly. And so I'm very scared for what's going to happen. I think our Hispanic region has something close to like 40, upwards of 40 small groups, churches, and their companies and whatever. I don't know if they're going to make it.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know how many will actually make it through this next generation, because as of now, you visit a lot of these churches and the makeup is just people who've been leading that same church for 25, 30 years, you know, and they're older and they're not going to be around forever. And what's going to happen to these churches? You know, these are churches in our conference that are in this present state. And so I feel like we missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer, right? Like, it's not just a youth problem anymore. It's just this massive gap of people, even our age, that we've missed. So it's just young adults, youth.
Yeah.
Like, where do we go now? You know, like, how do we work back all this, like, gap?
Right. Man, thanks, Danny. Thanks for depressing all of us. Appreciate that. Just before I want to get to Will, but just before I do, just for a show of hands, how many of you had a mentor in your life or somebody that spoke the ministry into your life at some point or another? How many of you did? By a show of hands. Okay. So everyone but Isaac, who was led by the Holy Spirit. Himself to go into ministry. I'm gonna get back to you, Isaac. And Will, I want to hear from you, but I also want to solve these taco issues. So so let's solve them. So because Sarah says, when are we going to see Icky's face again? I think everyone would rather see these tacos. So let's solve the tacos, guys. 2, 4, and 6. Go ahead,
Come on, Sarah.
What's your thoughts?
All right.
I'm gonna get on Uber Eats and order some tacos.
I think. Ooh, sheesh. I don't know.
All right, King Taco's
Number 4 is Tirsa.
King Taco's number 6.
King Taco's number 6, says Brian. Number 4 is Tirsa's. Do I have anyone who object and who wants to change their answers to this? Okay, we'll start.
King Taco is not number 6. They don't have their cebollas that big, bro. I think King Taco's number 3. No, what's this? The first one,
bro.
Number 2 is you said
I
what?
said number 2 is King Taco.
You said it's King.
Doesn't even have onion, bro.
It does.
It does. I can't see it.
I will say this: Tersa's is number 4. Good job on Tersa's. Yes.
Yeah, I trust Isaac with Tirsa's.
So not for those of you who don't know,
go try Tirsa's.
Tirsa's is Isaac's sister's restaurant in downtown LA, and it's actually banging. So if you get a chance, go on there, follow her on Instagram. She's killing good. I'm gonna actually get her on Tuesday Tea Time to talk about entrepreneurship, food, downtown LA, and life. So that'll be in the future. But yeah, she's phenomenal. So we got 2 and 6, guys. Let's go. Don't hold back.
Azteca is 6 and 2 is King Taco.
All right, let's see this. By show of hands, who thinks?
That's what I said.
Agreed.
Agreed?
I agree. I agree.
I said Isaac number 6.
You said 6 was King Taco.
Yeah.
No, 6 is Azteca and 2 is King Taco.
I think you're outnumbered here, Brian. I think you're outnumbered. So let's do a reveal. Number 2 is King Taco, and number 6 is Azteca. Yes, that is correct. Isaac is now dubbed the Taco King. That's right.
The most important question, though, who's going to eat all those tacos?
Yo, I'm vegetarian, so I don't know. Since Isaac won, I'm going to drive him to his house after this, nice and cold. Hey, guys.
Trash. That's terrible.
Let's pivot a little bit. There's a ton more questions, but we're already 4 minutes to 5, so we're going to do a couple more things. I want to ask a quick question to you, and if all of you can just be really succinct about this. What hope do you see in the church's future? So I want you to think about that. What hope do you see in the church's future? We'll start at Brian. We'll go to Danny, down to E-Man, then Wilfred, then Isaac. Do it. Let's go. Bam, bam, bam.
Ask me last. I think about that.
All right, Brian stepped out to the restroom, students. Next, we'll go to Danny. He'll come back to be at the end.
Hope that I see for our church is... You're asking the negative guy. You know?
Yeah, I know, the cynic.
I got it. I got a hope. I hope that I see in the church is that our young people are on fire for social issues. They want to be a voice for the marginalized, and that gives me hope.
That's powerful. We didn't, because we're out of time, we don't even have time to talk about that today. I want to invite you all back so we can actually spend some time talking about justice and some of these issues. Would you guys be willing to come back on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
We'll
definitely.
get back to that. E-Man, what hope do you see in the church? What hopes do you have for us? Oh man, we're lost, guys. We're
No.
I'm gonna go quit my job right after this, man.
Tech guy, leave him alone.
I have hope, knowing that there are um, people in the church, especially young people coming up, who have so much compassion and empathy for their fellow human beings.
Ooh, that's good.
They care about the human. They care about the other person.
Mhm.
And I hope my hope for the church is that we listen to them, we empower them to move the church in that direction, to move the church in being those agents of compassion and those agents of change.
Wow. Good, E-Man. Very good.
I got one.
You're gonna have to wait till the end now, Dan. You're gonna have to close us out.
Positive?
Will?
Yeah, man. The hope I see, for me, the hope I see is definitely the fact that, like, I think there's definitely the beginning parts of it, of the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. The fact that there's not just young men, but young women actually stepping up and speaking out, and prophesying the gospel, speaking the gospel. The fact that the younger generation, I see the hope of it is the fact that I'm seeing more of a incline or a leaning towards building bridges instead of just like edifying walls. And not just in our church, but like in the communities, and in the social things, the injustice, pretty much society in which the church is around. We're actually getting more involved instead of being secluded. That's the hope I see.
Good. Iceman.
What I see for the future of our church is a church filled with young people if our light bulb turns on now. If nothing happens now, it's going to stay the same. But I believe that our church is going to be filled with younger people, with the newer generations, and us as the younger millennial pastors have that responsibility on our shoulders. It's because we can't expect older pastors to adopt, and if they do, it's not going to be 100%. But I think it's on us as the upcoming pastors that are coming up that have the task to actually instill this into the young people and motivate the adults to follow suit, because it needs to happen.
Absolutely. Thank you. Danny.
So mine was that young people are they're not willing to accept something that they don't agree with anymore. I think our generation was willing to walk away from something that they didn't agree with, and I think the next generation is willing to fight for something that they believe is right in our churches. So hopefully we see like a revolution, a bunch of young people saying, sorry, old man, this is my church now, and just taking over instead of walking away from it,
So true. If you're a young person and you're watching along, I want you to not walk away from the church. This place is for you. And the more of you filling our space, the better we are, the better we become. This is not just a movement for young people, but we need the young people for this to be a movement. And so I want to call out to all of our millennials, all our Gen Zers. If you're a Generation X, boomers, we all need to do this. This is multi-generational. We need everybody to make this work. So none of you should be sitting on the sidelines talking about, well, let me see what's up. No, we need all of you to lean in, especially our young folks. This church is not yours tomorrow, it's today. This church is yours today. Let's be unapologetic about that. Let's get the work done. You've got some great pastors out there doing some great things who want you to be a part of that. Let's not give up, my peoples, because there's some great things happening in our church. Now, we didn't even get a chance to talk about some of the injustices happening around. We didn't get to talk about married life. I was going to ask Will to give all of you marriage counsel since he's a pastor. We didn't get to talk about COVID. So there's a bunch of stuff we didn't get to today, but we will get to it next time we get together, my friends. And we're going to close out. As we close out, I do want to play Love One, Leave One. So all of you watching along, get ready, you keyboard warriors. We're going to play a little bit of Love One, Leave One. I'm going to give you guys a couple choices. You get to choose which one you love. The one you love, you get to enjoy in your life consistently for the rest of your life. The one that you don't choose, that thing disappears from existence and no one in humanity can ever use it again. So human beings around the world is relying on you to make a good choice. All right? You guys ready to play this?
Ready.
All right, let's get this on. Let's get this on. I'm going to pull up my list, and I want you guys to jump in here with us. We're going to have a good time together. Okay. Who's up first? Let's do Brian. And let's do Will. Brian, I'm gonna fix your screen first because half of your face is in it. And then we'll get rocking here. Let me see. Let's fix Brian. Brian, where are you at? Boom. All right. Okay. I'll make your face a little bit smaller because you're a little bit intrusive with us right now. There we go. Okay, my friends. Brian and Will's up. I'm going to put up a timer for us, and then we're gonna go. I'm gonna give you just 1 minute because we've got to close out our day. Okay, ready, guys? Here we. Oh no, that's too small. Okay, let's play along, everybody. 1 minute, and let's go. Nikes or Adidas?
Nikes.
Nikes.
Alaska or Iceland?
Iceland.
Alaska.
Action movie or superhero movie?
Superhero movie.
Superhero movie.
Tacos or tamales?
Oh my God.
Tacos.
Pizza. Oh wait, Brian, come on, Brian.
Oh, my bad, dude. I love both so much, but I don't want nobody else to have it because I can have it. So I'll go with tacos.
Tamales disappears from existence forever. All right. We're going pizza or burgers?
Pizza.
Pizza. All right, burgers disappears forever. Okay, Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
All right, okay. Tapatio or Cholula?
Tapatio.
All right. Game Boy Color or Nintendo Switch?
Nintendo Switch.
Game Boy Color.
All right, good job. All right, okay. Sarah threw up pupusas. She made her own list. Thank you, Sarah, for for going ahead and making up your own thing. All right, you fellas, are you guys ready?
I guess.
Ready.
All right, we're switching over to these three here. And we're going to go. Here we go. Hip hop or R&B?
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
All right.
Hip hop, I guess.
Dodgers or Angels?
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
E-Man's like whatever they say.
Man, what is wrong with you? You lived in Pomona? apparently?
All right. Basketball or soccer?
Basketball.
Tupac
Tennis.
or Biggie?
Oh, Tupac. I'm not even playing.
I love you. I'm just waiting for you guys' answers. Okay, horchata or mango lassi?
Horchata.
Chata.
Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle.
E-Man or Manny?
Brian Campos.
Yeah.
Campos?
Yo, I would keep E-Man because he's a tech guy.
You're not playing.
That guy, E-Man gets kept, huh? All right. Isaac or Berna? His wife.
Oh.
Berna.
Isaac,
Berna.
E-Man, I said either. All right. Danny or Brian?
Oh,
Danny.
come on, man.
90s
remember that,
music,
E-Man.
I'll go Danny.
90s music or 70s Motown?
90s.
70.
Motown.
Oh, good job, guys. Good job. Thank you so much for playing along. You guys are hilarious, man.
That hurt my heart.
Everyone, thank you for jumping in with us here. As you'll see, some of your answers coming up on our screen right now. Liliana said, "Leave them," as in leave them both. I'm thinking that was to Brian and Danny. You both got left.
Oh, man.
Thanks for joining along. We were hanging out with some of our young Hispanic professional ministers doing great work for the kingdom right here in Southern California Conference. Please join us again. Next time these guys come on, I'll schedule them in and you'll all get to know that. And next week, we're going to be hanging out with Chad Manalo, producer who runs his studio from Van Nuys and is the tech director for Saddleback Church. It's going to be a great time with a lot of tech talk and a lot of talking about God and life. So don't miss out. Fellas, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to put on some music, and I want you to just groove with me as we roll up out of here, all right? So give me a head, Bob. Let's just
We're Adventists, bro.
I know, but you drank coffee in the beginning, so now you got decaf. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is Tuesday Tea Time. We out.